Welcome to Merly's World. I hope you still remember me. It's been a while. This is Merly Barlaan. How was your summer? It's been a crazy, busy summer for us, but I must say, it's really productive. And I'd like to recap and remember everything that happened during this summer. Yeah, and you have been a big part of it, and I want to thank you. I want to start with a big thank you to all of you for making our world, the Merly's World, and the events, the activities of Women's Federation greatly successful. So let us look back our summer 2022. We are wrapping up in few days. Summer 2022 will be gone forever. And yeah, thinking of what we did this summer. We started in July with the High Level Political Forum 2022 at the United Nations. We held a forum, and it wasn't the theme Building Back Better from the pandemic, but we at Women's Federation UN office here in New York, we hosted a virtual event on the theme of highlighting the permaculture as a community adaptation initiative to adapt to the climate change. As you know, this summer, the whole world has experienced so much the reality of what climate change can do to us. It's really threatening our existence. And so, yeah, that was we did high level political forum. We featured speakers. We had speakers from Austria, from the Ministry of Agriculture. She talked about gardening and farming, the women and the agriculture. She showcased about the interesting practice of farming linked to healing of people as a therapy when you practice farming, gardening, and apparently in Austria, the government there is supporting um, more than 30,000 network of women farmers, and I find it really hopeful. And talking about uh, agriculture, farming, therapy, empowering women, that's very hopeful. Also, we had one of our speakers, Miss Yani Dota. Is an emerging young leader from the Philippines, and she's now working in Singapore, but she is promoting permaculture, and she's actually blazing the path of changing the mindsets of the architects and the engineering, the way you build your buildings, and using the permaculture mindset. So I find it really hopeful despite of the great difficulties and uncertainties that we feel and we see this time all over the world, where there are typhoons, floods, earthquake, not to mention wars. Um, yeah, there's just too much uncertainty. But over the summer, we have met wonderful, great women leaders who are giving us hope, and it makes us see that there is actually hope and solutions as we adapt to the climate change, and also it really helps us see that the world, humanity in general, is resilient, and we just have to focus on working with the right people. So that's for the HLPF. What else did we do? Okay, so July 15 to August 7. So this is the big one. We did the Giving for Good auction 2022. This was a fundraiser to support our 10 environmental projects around the world, and we have we did this. This is actually our second annual fundraising campaign. These are environmental projects and empowering women and young leaders. So, what was special about it? Oh yeah. Okay. In the beginning, we actually did like three events, major events. And the first week, we had two weekly impact events. We had forum with the um, young media people from the Philippines, from actually from all over the world, and also the advocates for. Let me see my what happened here. Okay, so here, okay, we raised awareness. We did the virtual event Impact Week. So we have invited this young leaders, men and women leaders, civil society leaders, and business women. They're fashion designers, and they are young leaders who work in the media, social media influencers, and the beauty queens. And we had a forum on to um, how to create a network of responsible young leaders to counter the climate change, to adapt to the climate change. So in the area of businesses, manufacturers, and fashion designers, and it's really interesting and hopeful how they come up with ingenious idea, the spirit of resilience, and the challenges, how they overcome the challenges that they encountered along the way, whether it's from the workplace, whether it's business, and in their communities. Watch our watch if you watch the recording of our these virtual events. It is on the Giving for Good website, well, social media page, our Facebook page. It is there. I'll write down in the link below. And yeah, please watch it. It's really interesting. And special mention, shout out to a really special, beautiful friend of mine that I met during this journey, Giving for a Good Journey, Miss Abby Cruz. She was one of the a runner-up of the Binibining Pilipinas 2017, and she has come on board and helped us. She was our MC and moderator, and she helped us reach and expand our network of, we call it environmental stewards. And our campaign, actually, the theme of that campaign is healing our home, our shared calling. And because of Abby, Miss Abby, thank you so much. Oh, it's such a pleasure and a good fortune of mine to have met you. And she introduced us to Binibining Filipinas, Miss Earth 2017, Miss Karen Ibasco. And because of that, Miss Karen Ibasco got inspired with our campaign, Giving for Good campaign and healing our home, our shared calling. So she donated her replica crown, Miss Earth crown. And for that, we are so grateful. And also, we have donations. We received donations from Miss Lara Kigaman. She donated her clutch, really beautiful handmade clutch. And Vin Sitiar for beautiful gown, and many others. Yeah. and our project coordinator, auction project manager, Charlene Bornia. Hi, Charlene. Thank you so much. Yeah, she flew over to New York from California to join us. And so that was for our campaign, the awareness campaign. On 20 and the 29th and 30th of July, we had our in person showroom. We had a lot of beautiful pre-loved clothing donated by no other than the founder of Giving for Good and the IVP of Women's Federation, Dr. Sanjin Moon. And we had a blast. My twin, Mariver, and my dear friend, Laura Garcia, they came over, and many of my friends, thank you, all of you who came to the New Yorker and joined us. We had blast. Thank you so much for that. And on we concluded our online auction. Actually, we had a running online auction from the 15th of July up to, no, actually not 15, the 17th of July up to the 7th of August. Online auction, and we were highlighting clothing donated by no other than the co-founder of Women's Federation for World Peace International, Dr. Hak Jahan Moon. We call her Mother Moon. And despite of the great difficulties, financial, economic difficulties during this time, but we were able to raise $16,000. Yes, $16,000. So, $16,000 is a lot, and I am so grateful. We did have a bit high goal, a big goal, but we give ourselves 1 year to reach $100,000. So for those of you who missed buying or bidding on our website, the website is closed, the auction site is closed, but if you are around the tri-state area, come over. Our showroom is still it's still open. Yeah, so come over. We are welcome. And yeah, that's for our Giving for Good. It was a rigorous 3-week campaign, but I must say that the people that we met along the way, they are treasures. They are beautiful people. It was, to me, it's called serendipity, meeting beautiful people. And yeah, I feel like I'm so blessed, and I feel like I've met these special people, extraordinary people who give you hope, and despite of the challenges that we are facing right now in the world. So that is for the Giving for Good. What else did we do? Okay. Yeah. August 3rd to the 7th, we had a young women leaders in-person retreat at Barrytown, New York. We hosted that after 2 years of not seeing each other for such a long time. We welcomed young women leaders of Women's Federation from all over the world. We had participants from Africa, from Europe, from Asia, and from Latin America, from Korea, Japan. Yeah. And guess what? Oh gosh, I have to show you. Miss Yani, special mention to my dear new friend, Yani Dota. She's an architect and a permaculture designer, but she's also a prolific painter. Within an hour, during that one of the mornings, meditation mornings during the retreat, she painted for me something that was so close and dear to my heart. I don't have it right now, but yeah, we'll show it to you. Yeah. Also, yeah, thank you so much, Yanni. Really beautiful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Um, but what was interesting during this time is, for this event that months and months of investment and preparation, I wasn't there. I posted it, but I wasn't there. I had COVID. I had COVID and I couldn't be with them. But I want to thank Alexa Ward, Grace Kellett, and Mako Mori, and our volunteers, the Women's Federation leaders, Women's Federation in Beartown, New York, for helping us. Oh, Esther Batino, for your motherly heart, helping with the cooking. Yeah, and somehow we pulled it together. I joined them virtually. I, I don't know, for some reason, 2 or 3 days in a row, I was with them virtually, and it felt like I was with them. Yeah, and it's just a very interesting. COVID makes you do things that you never thought that you can do, and it makes you struggle, and it's just yeah, summer 2022 is something that's too way beyond unforgettable for me. Yeah, so that was for our young women leaders retreat. And then I'm telling you, we were very ambitious this summer and marathon of events. And what else did we do? Okay, August 19 and ongoing, and another, we launched our um, um, pilot project leadership. This is a virtual leadership training program. It's called Activate 2022. It is a 3-month leadership training for our Women's Federation leaders all over the world, and we work together with the NGO Academy under Dr. Karen Smith, and this is actually empowering our Women's Federation leaders with advocacy, grant writing and fundraising, and permaculture literacy program. And so we have participants now from Philippines. We have participants from Colombia, from Brazil, and from Bangladesh. And these are just special group of young and not really old, just I would say seasoned Women's Federation leaders who want to be who want to do their best um, in terms of implementing our projects, working together with the United Nations, with the government, local government, the member states, and the community leaders. And one thing that I learned, this project has really pushed me to my limits and outside of my comfort zone. Because finally, I could put together my teaching content for the fundraising and grant writing. And week after week, I was pushed. I had to force myself to uh, um, put my experience, like write it down in a teachable format, replicable format, my fundraiser spirit and my fundraising experience and NGO management, and in general all of my 10-year experience developing a community development framework from the bottom up. And so put it together, 10-year experience in a 6-week program. And in the context of how to create impactful, sustainable projects with the leadership, using the leadership of heart approach, at the same time encouraging the funders to support you. And one thing that is really like aha moment for me during this summer is that um, I realized that the new trend this time is that the impactful and the drivers of change is now the light, the laser light of who are the impactful drivers, change makers. Um, they're in the community developers, the community workers. And so on this context, I am so hopeful and really grateful that despite of the challenges that we face this year and the last couple of years, and especially this year, peace and security, climate change, and I've met so many people, and especially during this training, that um, in the community, there are a lot of visionary leaders, young visionary leaders, and so yeah, I have so much hope this summer. So that's for our Activate, Activate 2022, and yeah. On top of that, so this Activate 2022. This will continue until November. So it is a 3 month virtual. It is virtual, but actually it's an intensive leadership training. And if you're one of those who were lucky enough to be accepted to this program, I know you can say that it's intensive. We did not give you a break, right? Week after week, it's too much homework. All right. So, and on top of that, wrapping up this summer, um, personally, personally and family wise, I had a health scare with my son, and I want to thank all of you. I know I sent out prayer requests for my son, so my daughter got COVID. We had COVID in our family, but it was not that the COVID was mild, but it was more in the complication. And so my son stayed at the hospital for a week or so, but then the medication and all that. It's just what I realize is when you encounter, I know for all the mothers and parents out there, when you encounter life and death situation, it's it's beyond description, but the outpouring of love and support from my friends, those who prayed for me, Champyong, Agnes there in Korea, thank you for your prayers, Elizabeth community. And yeah, I felt that the world in general, we all survive by the energies and the vibrations of the love and care of your friends and families. And that's what makes this world a really beautiful place to live, because they're there. And my second realization is health is wealth. Yeah, let's be healthy. Really, I mean, um, from that health crisis in our family, I was in the midst of, you know, walking the fine line between balancing family and work. And I must say that, like, how do you balance family and work? There is no balance. There is no such thing as balance. There's only sacrifice. So hats off. Really, I salute to all the women, the pandemic heroes, the nurses and the doctors. They're there. It really, um, being face to face with them, I can see how they had to. Yeah, there's just a lot of love and sacrifice there. So, um, let's not lose hope in our humanity and the world, because the people that I met in this, when it was greatly difficult for me. There were people that were really beautiful. Yeah. And lastly, I went on and on. I'm telling you, yeah, summer of 2022 was just busy, and but it was greatly productive. A lot of the work that we did during this summer were it was such as the Young Leaders Women's Retreat and the Activate 2022 and HLPF at the United Nations. These were first for us in our office, and yeah, I have nothing but gratitude. Lastly, we have a book. We produced a book, actually, our UN office here in India. We produced a book. It's called Peace, Women, and Environment Action Towards New Beginning. This is a very simple book. It contains a lot of our work, environmental work, at the advocacy at the United Nations. At the same time, highlighting 10 of our environmental projects worldwide from the Giving for Good project. But what is so special about this is that this is an art book. But this is also a book. This is a $20,000 book. What I mean, $20,000 book is that um, to produce this book, and this was a fundraiser book, and we made $20,000. And out of that $20,000, this was our Spring Awakening campaign, fundraiser campaign in spring, if you remember. We were able to finance our Young Leaders Women's Retreat and for our Activate 2022 leadership training. So this is really precious. But also here, our beautiful artwork of our artists. I want to shout out to our artist, artist Miss Iris. Here's our artist. Miss Iris Aliyah, French. She's a French artist here. Miss Iris Aliyah. She donated her talent. Just prolific artist. I would tell her, what I'd like to convey and manifest, and she drew this. She sketched this one, and this. Look at that. So beautiful. And describing the work that we do about the women's beauty from inside the spirit and the heroism of women working together in the community. And yeah, she draw this one and this, and a storybook. It's like a storybook of our stories of impact all over the world. But I just like how from her heart and her mind, that beauty manifested in this art book, in the form of art. And all our projects in the countries, from solar lights, clean energy, to permaculture, and you reduce, reuse, recycle campaign. It's just beautiful. And here it's like she even wrote this from her own handwriting, and it's just beautiful. And even in Philippines, look what she did. She sketched the face. She draw the face of Dale and Christine and our Women's Federation leaders. And actually, this is Albania. Yeah. And here, yeah, and then our donors. We have our benefactors and donors. New Yorker Hotel, Japan Marketplace, Mr. Takinaka, Ocean Peace and Ocean Providence, and Kodan HSA, and International Protection Group, Mrs. VM. And yeah, here we have Women's Federation USA, Sanovana, Supreme Health Systems. Shout out to Salad Master Queen Carolyn Sibaluka from Jersey City, and then from One Heart International. And lastly, Women's Federation International turned 30 years old this year. So this year was our 30th anniversary. So yeah, see, peace, women, and environment action towards new beginning. And if this book is for sale too, it's $20. If you would like to purchase one, let me know. This is $20. Just want to read for closing. Um, I just want to read um, about this book. This is an art about the artwork of this book. This art book depicts humanity's journey toward healing the planet, dancing, supporting, and leaning on one another with nature. We believe this is a symbol of how we as women joyfully build one another up in harmony together with nature and build bridges that unite us, despite our differences. The intention behind this art book is to foster a peaceful world living together as one global family. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. I am really happy and proud of this. So yeah, that's about it. That's my summer. And thank you, everyone. Thank you to my twin for for your support in producing this Mary Grace Media. Continuously helping me put together. Yeah, and I look forward to the autumn 2022. Um, what would autumn be like? I look forward to the people that I'm going to meet and the projects that we are conducting. And yeah, I'll update you. This is pretty much what I have in Merly's world. Working hard, striving to promote a regenerative living to heal our planet. Thank you. Bye bye. See you next time.